All right, let's hop into it. I tried to look, but I lost my way. Didn't you know? Didn't you know? I tried to let my emotions. Guys, gals, and guests, trigger warning. Tonight we will be discussing homicide, firearms, and horrible acts of violence. The very Push channel does not support violence. We are sharing this information for awareness purposes, for violence against the LGBTQ community awareness. We're also showing this video to educate others on how they could prevent these potential acts of violence happening against them. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, child, honey, Neal Chanel.
Stand back, easy. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, this Neal Chanel was on Kendra G, honey. Yep. The one and only Neal Chanel. I think Neal might be a legend at this point, honey. He was on Kendra G. For all who are not familiar, Kendra G is a dating show. Kendra G hosts a singles live on various platforms on the internet. And as many know, she is not the most LGBTQ accepting, friendly. She's definitely not an ally. But Neal made an appearance. Let's see what Neal has to say on Kendra J. Let's get into it.
All right, so we got Neal, Birmingham, Alabama, 40 years old, doesn't believe in zodiacs. I can respect that. No children, and he's a wardrobe stylist and an activist. What kind of woman are you looking for, love?
That's the whole thing. The kind of woman I'm looking for. I will have to look for a woman that is accepting of all lifestyles. We living in a world right now where everybody's so judgmental, and I'm just looking for a woman that can accept a man that hasn't been with a woman in a couple decades.
Oh, so are you not looking for a woman? You're looking for a man?
No, that's not what I said. Did you hear me clearly?
Don't start that. I'm trying to listen, Neal. Here's the deal.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to be respectful. Okay?
Well, that wasn't respectful. I'm sorry, because I said I was looking for a woman. And I told you a woman that is accepting.
Let me tell you why I said that. Because in the beginning, you said you want a woman that's open-minded to all lifestyles. And then you also said you haven't been with a woman in a couple of decades. So that's why I said, are you interested in men?
No. I said I was looking for a woman. So being
no. I said what kind of woman you looking for. You didn't.
Right, and
that's why I was getting
the
clear.
question, correct?
That's what.
So
here's the deal. Have you dated men in the past?
Yes.
Okay. So are you no longer dating men?
I'm not interested. No, I haven't dated a man in a while as well.
Okay. So you have dated women in the past?
Yeah, and over a couple of decades.
So a couple of decades is 10. So 20 years ago?
Approximately.
Okay. And what made you want to start dating women now?
I want to live a life that's pleasing to the Lord, and that's what I feel like God wants for me.
Do you want to have kids?
I do.
Can I just ask this blanket statement? Because I've had this on my show at times. Men that dated men but decided to date women, but they also wanted to be fathers. So do you think it's because you want to have children you want to start dating women?
No, my belief in Christ, Jesus Christ. No, not at all.
Okay. So just when did this dedication to women come back around for you?
I'm sorry. I was a victim of a hate crime. A guy tried to kill me. And you know, I I just feel like though I wasn't at fault, I just feel like God is just sending us signs that we need to, live a different lifestyle, So I'm taking my pain as a sign that God wants me to do something differently. So that's that's where I am.
Okay.
It's been hard. It's been a hard journey because I also feel like I'm being discriminated against by the state.
My God.
I, the guy who tried to take my life, the way I survived was, I had to use the gun that he tried to kill me with. I had to use it on him, and the state prosecutors are charging me when they know he came in with the gun, so they discriminating against me too, and they're trying to cover up that he's tried to gay bash me. So I'm fighting the courts for my right. Right now, they're trying to take rights away from gay people, and I'm experiencing that right now. Is like we're being discriminated against. I really want to get this out there. There are 28 states in the United States of America that do not give gay people equal rights. They do not add them to the state hate crime. So under the United States Constitution, we are all supposed to be equally protected. But so with us being equally protected under the hate crimes, we are some of the most victimized group of individuals. But all the states that don't acknowledge the hate crime laws, they hide it. So you guys don't see half of the gay crimes that's going on because state laws, they don't even include us. So that would have to be federal. So in order for them to make money, if they have me they can charge me with attempted murder for a state crime and give me 20 to 99 years, and they have a guy that attempted to kill me, but it would be only under a federal. It will only be under a federal crime. The state don't make no money off of that. So the state don't make no money from charging him federally. So it's a federal hate crime. So they supposed to send it to the federal court, but they can just charge you since it's a state crime, and they can make tons of money off falsely imprisoning you. And
if anybody's having a hard time understanding what Neal's saying, Neal's essentially saying that on the federal level, LGBTQ plus people are protected against federal hate crime bills. But each state individually doesn't necessarily have LGBTQ protections in the law. I think he said 28 states that do not have LGBTQ plus protections in the law. Recently, we spoke about this when we spoke about Asia Davis being murdered. When we spoke about her, we spoke about how Detroit and how Michigan has just recently passed has recently extended the Elliott Larson to include LGBTQ plus people, because before, had it been a hate crime based on race, you would get in trouble in Michigan. But if it were based on gender identity or sexuality, you would not. And Alabama is one of these states, the Bible Belt, they're not very LGBTQ plus friendly. So essentially, there are plenty of times where people in the state of Alabama may have a case that is a hate crime case, but they want to charge on a state level so that the state can be paid for it, and so that it helps to increase the state's numbers and convictions. They don't want to give the cases to the feds, because whether the feds win, lose, or draw, it's going to make money for the feds, and it's also going to bring notoriety to the feds. That's essentially what he's saying. But shout out to Henny. We got Henny over here. What's up, my love? Honey, we got Henny over here on TikTok. Henny said, is he looking to date or is he advocating? We gonna get to that, baby. But let's get back to Neal.
they can just take you and just charge you and just cover it up and act like ain't nothing happened. Ain't nothing. So there is no hate crime. They literally are trying to cover it up.
So
and nobody's doing nothing. I've even contacted the Fed.
I gotta ask more questions. Is the guy that did the hate crime, is he alive?
Yes.
Okay. So they're charging you though, because you had to defend yourself against him.
Yes. But even after this dude, I got police reports. This dude has been threatening to take my life and everything, and they still not doing nothing.
Okay. Can I ask, when did this happen? Is this years ago or recent?
It happened. It first happened a couple years ago, but he's been committing crimes against me ever since the incident happened.
Right. That I'm not sure. Do you think you're in a position to start dating right now with so much going on?
Right now, you know, when you're dating somebody, you are there for each other. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is my personal belief, and a lot of times some gay people don't like me because of how I feel, but I just feel what God wants from me. I feel like God did put a woman on earth to support a man in more ways, even if it's more than sexual. And I feel like we all need that from a woman, to someone, just to have someone to talk to and support and show that they really care. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, it's just out of my experience being gay for over my whole life, you know, niggas don't care. You know what I'm saying? The nigga's gonna be a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Even men saying N-words don't care. Ooh, child. Even men saying N-words don't care. Has your desire for men gone away? Are you gonna cheat on her one day because you still have those urges?
No. I'm the type of man, I respect women so much. I would never, if a woman is willing to accept you for who you are, man, I couldn't see myself ever going and hurting a woman like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that goes against everything I'm about. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, God delivered the desire of wanting to be with a man for me years ago, like years ago. You know, it's just times where it's hard to even find a woman that's really going to accept you, a real hard Christian woman.
Child, he is delivered. Neal said that he is delivered, honey. He wants women's, honey.
Even the Christian women, they judge you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, for someone to really be a down-heart Christian and not judge you and say, well, his sins can be forgiven as well. You know what I'm saying? But they don't see it like that. They say, oh, you gay, they just have their judgments. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You don't have to be a praying woman, a woman that really believes that Christ is coming back and he can deliver all, and willing to accept me for who I am. You know what I'm saying? I am who I am. You know, I would never cheat on a woman. I'm looking for complete deliverance and for us to build an empire and still fight.
He looking for complete deliverance. Didn't Neal already say he was delivered? Didn't you need to be? Neal needs more delivery, honey.
For those, because being gay is not a crime. You know what I'm saying? So now I feel like I have to fight for people that are gay and struggling with homosexuality for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because they are discriminated against, and the only people that can judge them is God. You know what I'm saying? It's not a crime that a judge can sit there and judge you for.
Okay. So what are your deal breakers?
I've never thought. I'm always going to think if I'm around the dude, if you're going to think that we having sex, it's not going to work for you. You know what I'm saying? Especially with my mission. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to even get a woman that we can go on this together, to where, you know, we can bring them and make them believers of Christ as well. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And not thinking, oh, we having sex or something like that.
Okay. All right. We see you, love. Okay, so this is Neal, Birmingham, Alabama, 40. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Neal said he wants somebody to be a missionary. He said he is looking for one of y'all good Christian women's to help him do his missionary work with the regulars. Honey, is what he said. He said, and no matter how many regulars or trade or bisexuals you see him with, you better not think nothing else because you ain't the type of women's.
Probably probably a few months ago, last year.
Can I ask the gender?
It was a man.
It was a man. Now listen, I understand your love for the Lord, and I respect it. But do you feel in your heart of hearts that desire is truly gone, and you really have a heart for a woman now in a sexual manner?
Yes. So with me, where the sex comes in at is just that not having, I also.
It was a yes or no question, right? I'm not the only one who heard a yes or no question, right? We not getting a yes or no answer though.
Didn't really have parents growing up, so sex was the only way I knew how to love. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I really desire to be with a man. It's just, sometimes you just desire to be loved and you get what you can accept.
Okay. So right now, in that capacity, what I hear is you just wanted love, and that's who was offering it to you. Okay. Listen, I respect your transparency. You are not on FaceTime.
Okay, so but you don't have to make this like
it's gonna be a
snippet.
highlight. I mean, it's a part of this big ass video right here.
Pay attention to that. I want y'all to keep in mind. What Neal is about to say. Honey, she told Neal that he is not. She reminded Neal that this was not a FaceTime call, and that thousands of people, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, are going to see this. Pay attention to Neal's response. Not just for the kiki of it all. Pay attention because it's going to come back into play later.
Transparency. You are not on FaceTime.
Okay, so but you don't have to make this like
it's gonna be a
snippet.
highlight. I mean, it's a part of this big ass video right here.
In this mission of activism, if someone just needs to reach out and speak, nothing sexual, nothing sexual at all. I have to have boundaries in my spiritual journey. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody is going through the same thing and just want somebody to talk to, that's fine. But nothing sexual with no men.
How could the woman reach out to you, love?
Neal Beard on
Neal
Facebook.
Beard.
Nealbeard.
Spell it one more time, love.
Nealbeard. I think. I think that's what it is. Is that what's showing?
Well, I can't see it until I try to disconnect you. Okay, yeah.
Beard. Child, I keep telling y'all I don't have to make this stuff up. Why I gotta make it up when it's real life? Why do I have to make it up when it's real life? Child, first things first, because we have so many things to discuss about me. First things first, honey, let's get into the definiciones of it all. Honey, a beard companion was used by homosexual individuals to conceal one's sexual orientation through the disguise of a heterosexual relationship. Beard is the woman or the wife of the DL man, is the husband of the DL woman. Beard, honey, child. They switched it up a little bit. Honey. They switched it up. We are in a politically correct season, honey. Now, informal definition for a beard is a person who carries out a transaction, typically a bet, for someone else in order to conceal the other's identity. So they made it a little more broad. They basically took the homosexuals out of it. Is what they had said. You know we mind our business over here, honey, and you know we're gonna support Neal. Uh, Child. Well, Patty Mundy responded before I could. No, this wasn't even Patty Mundy. This was just Kelly Network. Responded before I did the panel response. Child. Getting to what Neal had to say, I wasn't the only one gagging. Okay. I'm gonna come up off this screen.
We talking about your brand performance or Miss Kendra?
Performance? What was the performance though? What was the performance? So what's up for dispute? What would the court like to know?
That you trying to be straight.
So you deliver.
They said.
So hold on, y'all. So hold on.
Talking about.
So Neal. So Neal, when did you find God?
I've always had God in my life. First thing first. First thing first. So like that's just crazy. Like I've always desired to be pleasing to our Lord and Savior. That's why I do have my moments when I come in and out of the scene, because in first thing first, as humans and as Christians, we are human, so we still backslide. So people still make mistakes and sometimes do what they've done before. I mean, we're human. Who finds it funny? Show your face.
We know you from back in the days, Neal, and I think this is all a publicity stunt.
What part is publicity though?
It was more to it.
What part do you think is publicity? You think that I'm listening.
So what they said was that you was giving publicity stunt, that it was that this was all in an attempt to strengthening your case to get the girls to go and for you to I guess bring attention to this situation through the way that you did through the show.
Of course, it's not a publicity stunt, but unfortunately, you see how all you guys are members of the community, people that know my son, Ramondis, is missing, people that know my best friend, Calvin, was murdered, all these hate crimes. And then we have our own community, y'all. You see, y'all think that this is a set. Y'all think this is a publicity stunt. See, that's the reason why we get discriminated against, because our own people think that somebody got to lie. Why I got to lie? What the hell I'm alive for? Because I'm a real ass nigga. Anything.
Why you got to lie, Craig? Why he got to lie? Child, honey, I just want to give Neal, formerly known as Neal Chanel, I just want to give him his new name. He is the brokenest clock. The brokenest clock in America. Jesus.
And one thing that the whole community knows about me, bitch, if I do something, bitch, I'm going to look y'all in y'all eye and say I did it.
From the video we just got, you're no longer a part of the community anymore.
No, see, there's a difference. First thing first, the community is LGBTQA+. The A stands for allies. So that's what you guys fail to realize. So stop trying to. This is exactly the problem. LGBTQ+ is a community. So that's allies, lesbians, bisexuals, gays, transgenders. And
so you an ally?
And plus.
He kind of ate that.
And first thing first, and once you're a part of the community, ain't no going back. People will always label you as gay. So I'm always stuck with a label as gay, period. Because that's how the world perceives. The world, just like how you guys are doing it, no one perceives change. Everyone perceives, oh, he was gay, he gonna always be gay. That's the world. Sorry that you guys live in it. We all live in it, but some people live in the world more. So what else may I address?
Did you find your woman yet?
Did I find a woman yet?
Yeah.
First thing first, I just went on that show yesterday or the day before yesterday. 1, 2.
I didn't know when it aired. It was just sent.
I didn't know when it aired either.
But when the last time you
did it? Yeah. That was just 1 or 2. But I will give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Was it a publicity stunt? Absolutely not. But did I honestly go on the show to bring awareness? Yes, because you see how you guys act? People in the own community that know we are getting murdered, y'all don't care. So is that what it?
I see that. I was just telling the people on TikTok, honey, it's like he be getting from point A to point B, and you be seeing this point. You know, he be getting there, and then the whole train and everything just fall right off the rails. To be like, what the fuck is going on? This is why Neal is now the brokenest clock, honey, formerly legendary Twister, still is all that. Broken clock. Oh my God, Neal, you'll be making a point. I went to spread awareness and advocate. Okay, we seen you doing that. Okay, but now you don't want to talk about the women's when you with the gay fuck. Honey, it's giving you the problem. Neal, broken clock. Honey, broken clocks are right twice a day. Neal be on the rails. And then twice a day, Neal be off the motherfucker.
It is. Do I have to be dead for you guys to care?
Now, Nikki, what happened where you just went off like that? Like, what he say? What triggered you?
Girl, they was over there messing with them DL boys and be trying to make them DL boys come out the closet. And when shit happens to them, then we got to be the ones to stick up for their ass. Listen, motherfuckers want us to be here for them when they go and they do things with these people that want to fuck with them and be DL, but they want to force motherfuckers to come out the closet. And then we have to deal with the motherfucking backlash when they motherfucking dead or something or come up fucking missing. You cannot force nobody to come out the motherfucking closet.
We doubt each other. That's crazy, and we know this is happening to our community. So what do y'all think the straight people gonna do? This is why we don't have no rights. This was my point in going on that live. It wasn't a publicity stunt, but I definitely went on there to bring awareness that there are 28 states under the United States Constitution. We are obligated to be equally protected under laws. But there are 28 states that do not have hate crime laws for LGBTQ. And that allows the states to discriminate against us. That's the reason why when we get murdered, that's the reason why we are not rated one of the most statistics in the hate crime level, because they hide all of our hate crimes. And that's all I'm trying to do. Is regardless. Yes, you sure can. Who are you? I can't see who you are.
Box 7. So do you do that when all these trans women be getting murdered and stuff like that? Because it just seems like it's only geared towards you.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like you're bringing up great points, but I feel like that this is just those were the wrong places for that. I don't feel like a Kendra G show was a place for advocacy. I don't feel like there was a place to show any type of awareness about the injustice against the LGBTQ community.
Y'all may have never thought you would hear me say this, but I am agreeing with Lawrence Tishy. Again, broken clocks, honey, even broken clocks are right at least twice a day.
But I feel like that this is just those were the wrong places for that. I don't feel like a Kendra G show was a place for advocacy. I don't feel like there was a place to show any type of awareness about the injustice against the LGBTQ community. I don't feel like that was a place. That's a dating show. So I don't feel like those were the places to hold on. I just didn't feel like that those were the places to fight those battles. I also feel like that, and going back to the point that Kelly and Amaya made, on this platform specifically was one of the key places within this community that the girls rallied around for Ramundis in that situation. But to be completely honest, there was no fighting for Ramundis that could have happened prior to. Ramundis wasn't going through anything other than having trade, something that a lot of us Butch Queens go out here and do. I do exactly what Ramundis do every fucking day. Now, do I go out and I expose the trade? No, I don't. That's just something different. And that goes more so into what Alexis was saying. It's no shade, and it's no shade to anybody. And let me say this on this. I'm a type of person, and the girls know how I get down. I fuck with Trey day in and day out. But once you go out here and you make these beds that you got to lie in them. And that's no shade to Ramundis or anything like that. But when you are out here and you are playing these games and you are out here outing these people, there is no justice for you when somebody comes at you that type of way. And it's no shame.
No. But see, that's the wrong way to think, Lawrence, because listen to me. We have rights. So just because I'm friends with a straight person and I'm gay, let's give it a bit. It takes two to tango.
I can go back. Ramondis was sitting there. If you honestly, maybe like a week before he died, he made a post arguing with the cunt about her motherfucking boyfriend.
Okay, I get all that. I know all that, Lawrence.
So then what are we talking about?
Hold on, let me talk. Every time I talk, somebody else want to talk. Can I talk? Can I respond to Lawrence? Because every time I open my mouth, y'all start talking.
And I can personally relate to that. Broken clocks, right twice a day. But we're going to get into it. We're going to sum it all up at the end. Honey, I just want y'all to know that is a real critique to the panel. Y'all get people on there and y'all don't let them speak.
But Lawrence can talk, but it's not about him. It's about me, right? So can I talk?
Go ahead.
Thank you guys so much. First thing first. So I know that it's not okay for Ramondis or anybody to out anybody. That's not okay. Hell no. But is he legally able for his freedom of speech and to do that? Yes. Does it make it okay? No, it does not. Is it legal for him to do it? Yes, it is. So this is where the justice come in, because no man, if that man, like you say, let me finish. So if he wants to.
Neal says that he wants to have the freedom to be able to out the trade. Okay? All right? He wants us all to have that freedom to be able to out the trade. I don't know about y'all, but why? Why do we need that freedom?
It takes two to tango. So though we are tangling or whatever with these DL men, the DL man has to understand it's their responsibility to know that you could be outed because you are the one that's having sex with a gay man. We don't care about people knowing.
Shut him up.
Because we not only
and it's also y'all jobs to know that when y'all out these straight men, that y'all could be killed. Go ahead, Nikki.
Here's my issue, right? We go into these situations already knowing the circumstances that we are playing with, right? And we want to make these guys, we go in these situations thinking that we're going to make them comfortable enough to be okay with us telling us their business. You knew he was in the closet when you first started sucking his dick and fucking him. So what the fuck make you think after 5 years of sleeping with him that all of a sudden he's going to be okay with you telling his business? No, it does not make it okay, but guess what? We got to take accountability of the parts that we play in these situations.
Hold on.
If you trying to put this man business out, bitch, if you can't hit a person to tell them how to respond. Like, I don't know where y'all get that from. How trying to make these people come out of the closet? That's not your job.
See, that's the point. See, now you guys are giving details. Every case is different. Every case is different. So you're saying,
So
of course, if you...
I
just started talking. Can I get it out yet? Can I get it out? I'm responding to you. I'm trying to tell whatever I'm trying to tell. You won't let me speak. I'll say what I'm going to say after you finish talking.
When y'all got into it, when y'all got into the nightclub, he tried to run you over with the truck and you shot him with the car. You shot him with his gun. Y'all, it wasn't no problem with y'all. You know, it wasn't. Girl, his tea wasn't coming out.
First, what are you talking about? That's not even the case. Okay, that's my point. You don't know. Right. You guys don't know nothing.
You're right.
That's my point. Where the hell you get all this from?
You're right.
Where the hell you get this story from?
You're right.
Where do you get this from? You're right. That's my point.
You're right, girl.
This shit happened in my house. This happened in my house.
You
guys are judging and don't know no facts at all. That's my point.
Okay.
This happened at my house. Me and this boy has never, ever done anything with each other. I've never even come on to this man. That's my point. So y'all take whatever y'all want to believe and just running with it. So y'all see that's the point. Everybody thinks the way they want to think without trying to come in to help. So you guys are blaming everything. That's exactly my point. Me and this boy never had no relationship. We were not having sex. He tried to gay bash me. When he pulled a gun out on me, he was asking me, was I gay, and calling me faggots.
In your house, he just randomly put a gun on you in your house.
And yes, you know why? Because I said his name too gay. I said his name too gay. Would you like to hear his interview? I can play his interview for you.
What
He
was
even
he?
admitted
What was he in your
admitted
house
to it.
for? What was he doing in your house? Like what? What y'all was having tea and crumpets?
People can't be friends. People can't have friends. So people can't have friends. You hear how you sound? People can't have
Where
friends.
did it go left? No. Okay, you friends with a straight man. Okay, cool. Y'all at the house. Hypothetically, if y'all smoking or whatever, what went left? What happened?
Yeah, we weren't smoking. We're having alcoholic beverages.
Okay. And y'all got drunk, and then,
as I stated, he got upset. He said I said his name too gay.
Oh
wow.
So you was like John. He felt like you was like John, but started to like John, yo, like what up, yo?
That's what
he was queening
I
up.
said his name too gay.
The liquor was flowing, and you got to look. Okay, and then he
thank you, but no, the liquor was flowing into him, and the way I said his name, he didn't like it, and it was too feminine for him, and he decided to try to kill me. We are always against each other we want to find the negative instead of helping each other. And what I'm trying to do is build a platform so I can make sure that members of the LGBTQ have equal rights. Sorry that offends people that I'm fighting for us and y'all don't even like me. And they trying to charge me just like how they tried to charge what's the icon name? Sadie's what's the icon voting girl name? Who the trade tried to attack her? And Sandy. That's the same thing that happened because we don't stand up for each other. We do all. We have platforms. All this money and stuff. We build doubt instead of fighting. Trying to help each other out. All we say is, he probably did something. Oh, he probably did something. Oh, he probably did something.
You're right.
Thank you, Nikki. So I apologize for calling you out your name. It's just that for you to just instantly. I know, but I'm a man. When I do wrong, I'm accountable. That's my point. If I would have did something wrong to that man, I would be accountable and I would say so because that's who I'm a real ass man. I'm a real man. So,
and I'm gonna be real. What you did wrong was that you brought a straight man into your house and not letting him know all the facts of your situation. Okay.
Okay. So he knew. But he knew about my sexuality. What I did wrong was I let that man into my house with a gun.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all know Trey. It's Trey. Y'all don't know Trey. Trey go off on and off.
You said that this was a friend. So you said this was a friend. So whether it was a piece of Trey, homeboy, friend, whatever the situation was.
It don't even matter.
Right, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. What I'm asking is you're saying that he knew your tea prior to him coming to your house, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so no shame, no tea, no shame. But if a boy already knows your tea, and y'all are still good enough to be homeboys, what the fuck does it have to do with the way that, me personally, I don't have no piece of trade, no home, and I have my trade, and then I have straight boys that are my homeboys. Neither one of those two are like. Never is it like a rocky moment. Like sometimes they with it, sometimes they ain't. To me, that's giving that's more on the
Lauren said, like, at what point, like, it don't make sense that you saying his name too gay because he already knows that you get coming to the situation.
That's the point. Y'all don't know Trey. That's the point. Trey flip on and off. I've had Trey literally. Hold on. I've had Trey literally put his hands in my pants, grab my dick. His baby mama called his phone, and all of a sudden he wasn't gay no more. All of a sudden,
I'm saying. So let me just go ahead on and give it to you black and white. The shit don't make no motherfucking sense. The only type of nigga that's acting like that is a nigga that's coming to fuck on. And yes, they will switch up. That you do have Trey that'll come to your house, fuck you, and then after they fuck you, all of a sudden they acting like, oh my God, what the fuck? I ain't gay. Oh, this shit didn't happen. Exactly. Bitch, that's Trey.
It's literally psychology behind everything Lawrence just said. Honey, yes, the day is here that I am agreeing with Lawrence Tishy, honey.
That's Trey that you trying to fuck on. Not your homeboy.
That's my point of coming on the show.
You gotta learn how to screen the trade. Girl, you gotta learn how to screen the trade. You can't let all the trade up in your motherfucking house. That's what
Not just screen the motherfucking trade. You got to screen every motherfucking body. You got to screen the butch queens, the femme queens, the trans men. Bitch, you got to screen the landlord, honey. You got to screen your family member. Honey, screen every damn body, honey. Be on the safe side, honey. Better safe than sorry.
You got to go back and get trade one-on-one. All of them don't deserve to be up in your motherfucking house. Bitch, you should have screened his
I'm not trying to have
Bob
the boy.
Polar
It doesn't
trade,
matter.
Bob Polar
It
trade
doesn't matter.
don't come in
If
my
I'm not
house.
trying to have the boy, it doesn't matter.
Bob Polar trade don't come in my house. And the
How was
the conversation going when y'all started drinking? How was the conversation going? Let's go there.
Baby, everything was fine. This boy flipped out. Everything was fine.
Hey Neal, how are you? I don't think the problem is that we don't care. See, so again, there's always a lack of accountability on our parts. We knowingly put ourselves into situations sometimes where we want attention, and when that attention is not reciprocated the way that we think it should be, then we become the victim. And there's no accountability on that part. Yes, he did try to kill you. That is definitely true, and life is worth it. However, there's parts of the story that just isn't adding up for us, and we may not never know. I think that's where the problem comes in. It's not that nobody doesn't want to support. It's just like something just does not make sense. So, however, I tend for me, I like to, like Lauren said, I have to know what's going on. Bitch, I'm questioning. I'm re-asking questions. For some reason, something just is not adding up. And it's not that nobody doesn't want to support you. It's like, how can we support a story when we aren't sure if it's true or not? And just because we're in the same community does not mean we automatically have to rally behind you. Just my opinion.
But one thing about it is when somebody commits a crime, when you're not going to understand unless you hear from them, they committed the crime. We can't help. We never understand why people date trans people, date gay people, and want to turn around and kill us. We'll never understand that. Those are questions that you guys have to ask him. But if I'm telling you, and I can send over facts that this man tried to kill me, and we know that they've been trying to kill people in our community forever, why doubt it? I'm sorry, it never adds up when somebody wants to kill somebody out of hate and they have no reason to be upset besides their sexuality. It's never going to make sense. That's the situation in the case here.
But that's their reason. That's their
speak. Every time I talk, somebody cuts me off. Why? Why is that? It's
because what you're saying is absolutely bullshit. What you saying is bullshit, Neal. What I'm saying is bullshit. Hold on. What I'm saying is bullshit. I'll pay to mute it if I have to. What I'm saying is what you're asking us, what you're asking the community and people for is just blind loyalty. You're saying that you should just trust it. You should just trust it. Like people don't lie, like people don't manipulate, like people don't play with stories. You're asking for absolutely 100% blind account because that's what you just said. You said people need to stop doubting it. People need to trust it. So you're asking for undying loyalty, and that ain't happening.
But you know what?
Was points being made? We gotta take it back. We gotta take it back on the queen. We gotta take it back. She said some things, y'all. She said some things, and it's all valid. This is why it is okay for us to ask questions. Baby, come on.
What I'm saying is bullshit. Hold on. What I'm saying is bullshit. I'll pay to mute it if I have to. What I'm saying is what you're asking us, what you're asking the community and people for is just blind loyalty. You're saying that you should just trust it. You should just trust it. Like people don't lie, like people don't manipulate, like people don't play with stories. You're asking for absolutely 100% blind account because that's what you just said. You said people need to stop doubting it. People need to trust it. So you're asking for undying loyalty, and that ain't happening.
But you know what you're supposed to do? You should say, if you even are part of an organization that can help, what you say is, hey, Neal, do you mind? Can you show us the evidence? Can you show us his testimony? Can you do this so we can see that maybe this is a fight that we need to stand up for? That's what you do when you care. That's what you do when you really want to fight. Not just doubt. That's not just doubt. Beforehand, you ugly bitch. You don't do that. Why you yelling now? I'm yelling, ho.
To the people to the trade down in Alabama, bitch, Atlanta is too.
Before the icon gets to her points, honey, I just want y'all to notice. I think we getting a transformation. You know, we was talking. Remember, Lawrence said, "Don't let bipolar trade in your house." I think we getting bipolar now. I think we starting to see the other side live and in person. Back to Colleen.
Oh, to the people down to the trade down in Alabama, bitch, Atlanta is 2.5 hours away. Y'all can go to Atlanta and fuck and suck all the niggas, the trans girls y'all want in motherfucking Atlanta. Why the fuck do it in y'all own motherfucking city and then want to kill motherfuckers? I just don't understand it.
So that's my point. So listen, you guys. I want you guys to understand. There was no publicity stunt, but was it to publish to put it public that we are being discriminated against? Yes, because we keep getting murdered and killed, and being that we have we are human.
Yeah. It was the 4 a.m. was a deal.
But you know, it's the you know what you getting into. You know what you getting into.
That's where I want to jump in right there.
It's the I got the trade in my house at 4 o'clock in the morning drinking, but now I want to get on a dating show and be an advocate because we ain't got no rights. It's like they're not, what you even saying not even correlating.
I just want to say one thing. Well, two things. I think that people have to learn to take some kind of accountability for the situations you put yourself in. And as I sat there and listened, there was a lack of accountability being taken. You've engaged in extremely risky behavior, inviting the trade to your house at 4 a.m. in the morning, knowing and allowing them in, knowing that they have a 30-round clip on their hip. That is dangerous. So you have to stand in your own and say, you know what, like Amaya said, it should have never happened. And I'm so sorry that it happened to you. But you also got to stand up and say, you know what, I invited that bullshit into my space. And I should have never done that.
Well, I just wanted to say that, y'all saying that it's not possible, but, y'all just was talking about the man who got killed by his lover in the morning.
We're going to end it on that note right there. Honey. Ooh, so many things were said. To be honest. I think the girl's clear, so I don't really have a lot to say on that situation at all. That's just going to segue us into the next team. Ooh, but I do want to make a couple of points about Neal. Neal, what did you tell that man? What you say? John, your drink is ready. Like, what happened? Honey, child. Overall, Neal went on Kendra G looking for some cooch talking about gay rights. Child, honey. Y'all have cleared it up for me in the chat. Thank you so much. I've got word that we don't think that Neal is a Chanel anymore. Honey, child. So you want a woman, like this be confusing to me. When the boys be claiming to be bisexual or fluid or whatever, and they go straight from having the trade to wanting a cisgender woman, like it don't be, like the math don't math for me. I don't know. I try not to judge other people's sexuality, but it don't, that in itself don't math for me, because it's like, you're not out here having with the girls, you're not out here having with sissies, with the feminine boys, and not you out here, trade on trade, and now you want the sin of a woman and you miss the sin of a woman. What steps did we take to get to missing the sin of him? I'm a mind my damn business. That's his sexual identity, his sexuality. Let me shut up. But it is so many, like, queens, and it's even they even developing a pretty decent ballroom scene down there in Alabama, and you couldn't find nobody who was openly gay or openly questioning, or nobody else who wanted to go on the mission with you, another missionary guy, somebody into conversion, one of the conversion camp children. You just happen to end up with the ratchet banshee trade with the 30-round clip on their hip. Okay, for drinks at 4 in the morning. Neal, see, that's the thing, Neal. You be making sense. I think what could have possibly happened is all this stuff that's going on with Carlos Collins, rest in power, rest in peace. I think Neal had got flared up, and the case is still going on and all that. But Neal, I think this is a prime example of when you should have stayed off the internet and talked to your therapist and not talk to your phone. Ultimately, I agree with the girls. I mean, I agree with the panel. A few right points. You know, the advocacy was cute. You know, stick to your rehearsed points in the future, Neal. Neal Beard. Um, why you was on Kendra G, I don't know. When that's already maybe you felt comfortable on Kendra G because you see a lot of the church queens over there, and you know you feeling church queeny on your missionary. Child, mm, I'm gonna pray on it. I'm not going over there and looking at them comments. More power to the girls who did, honey. Make sure that y'all do y'all breathing exercises and stuff after ingesting all that negativity. Honey, you got to let that out in a constructive way. Honey. Now, the reason why this is so touchy, and I'm gonna be the one of the people to touch it, honey, is because you know we do want to protect black men, and we do want black men to feel comfortable telling their stories. We want gay men to feel comfortable telling their stories. We want black gay men to feel comfortable telling their horror stories, just like we want anybody else from any other marginalized community to feel comfortable to tell their stories and speak truth to power. But Neal is just like, you know, it's like a rock and a broken clock. Yeah. Right message, wrong messenger. But some of the messages right, only bits and pieces you got to cut and paste it. I'm sure I could have cut and pasted the video to make Neal look good, but that's not what we was doing because that's not what we do here. Honey, oh Lord. We should be fighting for each other and not fighting against each other. Those are points too. But Neal, you want to come on here telling half stories and stuff. I can't diagnose nobody through the internet, but Jesus, I swear to God, there's a couple of them that you is checking marks and boxes for. And a lot of us, you know, I'm one of the craziest too. A lot of us, you know, queer people happen to deal with psychological issues because of the bullshit that we have to deal with the cishet people, son. And that's why we need to fight together, not against each other. But ultimately, the point that I want to leave with this whole Neal T is, really, at this point, we really still fucking with the trade. Like, it's not, you can't find nobody who just happens to be comfortable with being bisexual or being queer or being pansexual. None of them have ever attracted you in your life, ever. You just got to have you just got to have somebody who has a psychological condition to be closeted and to disconnect their sexuality from their actual sexual practices. Like I said to Neal, honey, talk more to your therapist, less to your phone, honey. But at this point, don't nobody need to be fucking with no Drake. But the panel did touch on something that I want to speak about. They touched on two things I want to speak about, actually. Hold on, that doesn't mean nothing. Okay. They touched on two things I want to speak about, actually. One being reminders. I just want this to be a reminder and a notice to all that reminders is still missing. Last seen leaving the club in 2019. Last seen 5 feet, 8 inches, about 188 pounds, ash wash, speckled jeans, gray and white Jordans, greenish gray shirt, black hat, and glasses with a wooden frame. Honey, if you have any information, if you know anything about this case, please contact Birmingham Police Department. Yes. And another thing that they was bringing up right at the end. Let me get back to this end. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull this back up. And yes, links for Petty Mondays.
We talking about Joe
are in the description as usual. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Let me turn the volume off. I want to get back to what they were saying. Because Neal does live in Alabama, and I don't think it's a coincidence. You know, Kelly had brought up about how she don't understand knowing how queerphobic, homophobic, transphobic the folks are in Alabama, why the Alabama trade is still messing around close to home. But again, I'm going to put the questions on y'all. I'm going to put the heat on y'all. Why are y'all still messing with the trade? And if you live in Alabama, why is you still messing with crazy trade? Like, no, it is not fair that women should not walk alone at night. But in reality, we have these social constructs for a reason. We have to protect ourselves, honey. Yes, it takes two to tango, but everything that the panel said was right. There are consequences to every tango. You could twist your ankle, honey. That tango, honey, you got to be careful. You get entangled.
Loyalty. You're standing.
Okay. We'll get back to that in a minute. Let me collect my bearings because that was a lot. This is a lot to take in, honey, and what we about to discuss next is a lot. On the panel, they mentioned the Carlos Collins case. And I don't really know much about this, so we're going to find out together, honey. Bear with me, honey. I'm going to attempt to be Mother Goose and read to y'all. So apparently on the right, that's Carlos, and that was Carlos's lover, Marcus, on the left. Police had been searching for Marcus until Wednesday when he was spotted. Police said that 25-year-old Carlos, the victim, life was taken at Tapestry Apartments off Canton Road. This all happening in Jackson, Mississippi. They confirmed that investigators were looking for Marcus, who's 33, in connection with the homicide. Johnson faces charges of murder and shooting into an occupied dwelling. Police said that Johnson is former Jackson police officer who was terminated in 2013 after less than a year on Jackson's police department roster. The family said that Carlos was succumbed to gunshot wounds and an axe during the incident. They said that Carlos had also reported several restraining orders on the former police officer. There was a time that in 2014 where Johnson was arrested and charged with impersonating a police officer. This was after he left the squad, before being terminated. In 2014, Johnson was arrested and charged with impersonating a police officer at the Palisades Apartments near Jackson State University. Johnson wrote a fake citation to a female student. The victim said Johnson then tried to hook up with her in order to avoid the ticket. So Johnson is equal opportunity, huh? You got to be... Honey, what I say, you ain't got to just screen the trade. You got to screen them all. Officers said that Johnson was in possession of a stolen police department radio, an old ticket book, and a current officer's badge number. Johnson was charged with false pretense, grand larceny, and 2 counts of impersonating the officer in the 2014 incident. Now, as I told y'all, he has been apprehended, but let me give y'all the tea on Johnson's apprehension, because This child's a lunatic. They had been searching for him until Wednesday, 5:45 p.m. He was driving a black Honda Accord, and they had got the C on him. You know that he might be in this black Honda Accord. They tried to stop him in Mississippi, but he continued into Louisiana. They went through Madison Parish, and after several failed tire deflator attempts, because he kept going, even with the tire deflator. At 114 marker in Rayville, Louisiana, they were able to use tire deflators on the vehicle where it came to a stop, and then they were able to take Johnson in custody. Lord. They said that he had quit the police department. Added note, you know they got to throw it on Johnson, honey. Why not? Why wouldn't they, honey? Said that he had quit in 2013 because of an incident where he was facing disciplinary actions. So he quit before he was terminated. Honey. Wickhaya said, don't trust no Christians, don't trust no police. Honey, y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of her, but she is the key, honey. I could take it or leave it. You know, my neck, my back. You know, honey, ultimately, you got to be careful. You got to be careful of everyone when they start showing you them signs. Like Lawrence said, honey, them signs. Get up out of my house, honey. And you're going to have to get vetted before you even get let in. Baby. But look what Lawrence had to say about, I told y'all, broken clocks. Lawrence, you know I'm going to be on that ass. Honey, this is what Lawrence had to say about Carlos Collins and stuff, honey.
You should just trust it. Like people don't lie. Like people don't manipulate.
I'm only bringing this up. Because I want y'all to realize something about me if you haven't realized it already. I have, like many of the girls, I have this trait that we call discernment. I don't be just disliking people not to dislike people. And I don't even dislike Lawrence, to be honest. But I'm going to call his ass out, honey, every time he's doing or saying something crazy. Let me see if we're at the right spot.
We are human. Yeah. It was the 4 a.m. was the
kind of accountability for the situation you're on and say, you know what, like Amaya said, it should have never happened, and I'm so sorry that it happened to you. But you also got to stand up and say, you know what, I invited that bullshit into my space, and I should have never done that.
Well, I just wanted to say that, you know, y'all saying that it's not possible, but, you know, y'all just was talking about the man who got killed by his lover in the morning.
Thank you. Girl, we don't give a fuck about that either. Cause her stupid ass shit got the fuck away from him fucking too. Bitch, listen, y'all trying to piss me the fuck off. I don't give a fuck.
Lawrence, what was the purpose? What was the point in saying that? Like, what? That was so much just hate and negative energy just coming out of you for no reason. Boy, stop your shit here. Child, and like I told y'all, honey, you better watch Neal. You better watch Neal as well. Because Neal had the nerve to come back up on the panel and be disrespectful for no apparent reason.
Tell them. Rather you're an ex.
I just want to go on record saying that, you know, I knew that Neal needs the evaluation.
You with them? You don't have to tell. First of all, let me explain something to you because you got a real flipping conversation. No. You're acting like a man. You're acting like a man. Can you act like a lady for me, please? Can you give lady vibes? Okay, well, you can go ahead and do this. Because I'm not arguing. Give lady vibes. No, bitch, I'm not arguing no motherfucker faggot.
I just want to point out that I know that Neal has some internalized homophobia that he needs to deal with very likely queerphobia as well. Child, wasn't no reason for you to come and be disrespectful and misgentle that woman, honey, baby. What's going on, honey? What y'all talk about in the chat? Let's get into it, honey. Hey, man. What did you walk in on? Honey, Jay, you know when it's a ballroom tea Tuesday, honey, it's going to get messy. You already knew what time it was. You thought this was an saying the key. You could call it, and it was many things. You know, you got to see the Kendra G, you know, dating / advocacy interview. You got to see, you know, the panel, the girls break Neal down. Like, Neal, what is you on here being child Christian gay conversion missionary? What in the fuck is going while fighting? I understand the confusion. If I knew somebody for a long time, even in passing, and I seen them talk crazy like that in real life, honey, I would be lost as well. Honey, yes, Saint, honey, that's the only answers I could give you, baby. And thank you again, BV. Thank you for the heads up. Saint, you're questioning whether he's a narcissist. I don't even use that word much. I don't, you know, I go more with the psychiatric diagnosis, and yeah, narcissism tends to be a trait and not necessarily a real diagnosis. Honey, what Jay said? Jay, what you said? You search for the beard. The beard is there, honey. What's going on, Boom? It was not a yes or no question, and it was not a yes or no answer. But, one of the things we noticed with Neal is that we didn't get yes or no answers when there was always yes or no questions. Neal had an explanation for everything, and that in itself is one of the warning signs that you look out for, one of the red flags that you look out for when you're vetting who you shouldn't let in your house. Yes, honey. Boom, you said how do you join the live? You trying to join the live? You could join the live on TikTok, honey. You come on over and you send me a invite, honey, and then we add it too. Honey, that's how we do. Yes. What's going on, Amaya? Amaya is in the chat. What is going on, Queen Amaya? How you doing, love? Thank you for being here. Passion fruit. I don't know. It sounded like he was trying to get the trade drunk. And he wasn't having it, but that's just me. Honey, that passion fruit, I think that your argument is the argument that is probably attempting to be used in defense of the other child. Woohoo, wow, it turned left. Yes. Neal gives me one of them children that is always making a left turn. Yeah, that's just my opinion. How do I do this? How do I make this? Make this boom cat. A cat. Honey. I think I do it like that. Do you work me like this, baby? Hey, y'all. I love you for living in your truth. I love you all who live in your truth. Just for being you. And peace, love, and blessings to you and yours until we speak again. Like, share, subscribe, all of the things, honey.